Hey guys, it's your boy Jameka here with another deck tech here in season 3. The first deck of the season I'm going to play with tonight is Mono White Affinity. So why Affinity? Why this? Well, we've got a whole lot of new toys from Kaladesh. Also, we've got some newcomers coming in. So we're just gonna take a look. Let's just dive right in it. Let's go. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Riker Boy, who is the original creator of this deck list. I saw him play it in a couple of the first tournaments of the season, and I just thought the idea was awesome. I loved the idea of it. I thought he had a lot of good ideas going on. I put my little tweaks on it, so we'll see if it works out. First, we'll go with the mana base, bunch of planes, 15 of them. You know, we don't have a lot of like white cards, but the ones we do, we just need at least 1 or 2 planes, so we just have a couple planes. 3 Foundry of the Consoles for a little bit of late game push, you know, makes 2 artifacts, and, you know, like I said, we don't need a ton of lands for this deck, so we can easily sack these. I might go up to 4, right now I have 3. And the other utility land I have is Tomb-of Spear Dragon, which gains you life for each colorless creature you control. We do have a ton of colorless creatures. The only one that isn't colorless is the Fort Homunculus, but that's okay. This will easily let you outrace other aggro decks, or especially if the burn decks are really popular in the first weeks. Let's just move down the line here. Ornithopter, new addition to the crew. You know, since I think it was a Kaladesh invention, so now it becomes like, you know, cheap as heck. So here we go. Gonna help enable all our stuff here. Fort Homunculus, it's a +1/+1 for if you have another artifact. So, you know, good as a pair. Dispatch, probably the only reason you ever want to be in this kind of like shell, because it's probably one of the most, probably the best removal spell, with the only condition is you have to play a lot of artifacts. But that's okay, because the artifacts are pretty busted. Especially with Ghostfire Blade, which has this reduction cost when you want to go to a colorless creature. So, I mean, you can go turn 1 Ornithopter, Ghostfire Blade, turn 2, you're attacking for 2 in the air, the 2/4. Not too shabby. We'll just move to differences, one of the decks between me and Riker Boy. Riker Boy, in kind of the 3 slot, he had Master Trinketer, which pumps servos, gives servos and Thopters +1/+1, and for 4 mana you can make a servo. But, you know, I thought that was a little slow. I didn't like the fact that it didn't really pump your whole team. So instead, in that slot, I have 2 Spears of Heliod, which one is an artifact, so it does count for your affinity costs. And, you know, it's also a Glorious Anthem, so it just pumps all your team. Downside is legendary, so I only play 2, but it's okay. We still have Chief of the Foundry, which also pumps other artifacts. So you have about 6 Anthem effects, which is probably like the most you can put in this deck. The other card I'm putting in this place of the Trinker is Foundry Inspector, which is a new card from Kaladesh. It reduces your artifact costs by 1, so basically it counts for double affinity. It itself is an artifact, and it reduces your costs. So your Frogmites and your Mirror Forces, all which are new this season, are all going to come in really quickly. The last card I replaced in Riker Boy's deck was a Cog. I think it's like Cog or Puzzle Knot, something like that. It was an artifact that made a servo, and if you sacked it, you got another servo. Instead of playing Glinthawk Idol, it only is 1 artifact, but it's fine. The best part about it is it's also flies, and that's really important. You can also dodge some sort of like random wrath effects, which is the same as the Cogwork did as well. But this thing is a 2/2 and it flies, so it's aggressive, and there's no activation cost when you play an artifact, which we have a ton of. Last card, Servo Expedition, kind of our dragon fodder for artifacts, another new addition from Kaladesh. It's gonna do well with all the go wide kind of strategy here. So Chief of the Foundry and Spirit Heliod are all gonna help together here. Let's move to the sideboard a bit. Sideboard's mostly the same from Riker Boy's list. Gilded Light, just to kind of stick it to Storm. You know, I've been playing Storm as well, and I can't beat this card. I don't know how to beat it yet. Still trying to figure it out, so we might as well just play the card, right? Dragon's Claw, Mono Red is very prevalent right now, so I've got 3 Dragon's Claws here, and 1 more random card, Locks on Warhammer, just to kind of give it the extra nudge there. It's a bit slow, but once you get at least 1 or 2 hits in with like a Mirror Enforcer, you're gonna probably win the game. Fragmentize over Dispeller's Capsule, which Riker Boy had. Dispeller's Capsule, which is right up here, has a really like high activation cost, so I'd rather just kind of nug it right there. If I want to kill something like a Parallax Wave, maybe I'm in the mirror, I want to kill something else, you know. It needs to go now. So for 1 mana, you can't beat that. Last card, Indomitable Archangel, which is another Metalcraft card. It gives your artifact Shroud, even 3 more artifacts, and it's also a 4/4 flyer, which is not too shabby. Pretty good against the other red decks and maybe like the spot removal decks that kind of just try to destroy your artifacts. So we're gonna try it out. Doesn't really combo well with the Ghostfire Blade, but that's okay. I think just having all the anthems is good enough. So yeah, we're gonna just dive into a couple matches. I'm excited to play this. Let's go.